Welcome back, everyone, to the Chicago Cubs franchise. Up on your screen, you'll see Cornelius Kane, a patron prospect that was drafted just a couple years ago. And he's got some nice progression, plus 10, plus 10, plus 5 all the way around. And that is due in part to channel points. Now, maybe you guys have seen some live streams that have been popping up every now and then, but you've clicked off of them and you haven't really been paying attention to those. But if you have prospects in a series, you get to earn channel points based on little contests that are run throughout the week. I actually run contests every single week, and that's what that live stream, when you see that notification, that's what that is. It's letting you guys know that a new contest is up and ready to go, and you get to answer questions and fill out propositions and earn some channel points to start upgrading your players. You even get to buy players if you don't have any yet. So speaking of little contests, we actually ran one in the playoffs, and we've got Devin out here, performed very nicely in the playoffs, and he gets to upgrade and choose what players he wants to upgrade. He chose Anthony Rizzo. You guys saw the comments from him. He wants Nico Hoerner to get upgraded here a little bit too, but he's going to upgrade Rizzo, Hoerner. It's also going to allow me to upgrade and do whatever I choose to Chris Addison. And I'm mostly going to be focused on his power numbers because I feel like his contact's pretty good. We need to get his power numbers up just a touch to get him really raking down there in the minor leagues. Now, because we also implemented a wheel spin for every single game last season, year 2 and year 1, we got the chance, if we completed those challenges based on the wheel spin, it decided what challenge we're going to run for that game. And if we met it, we got 10 points. I actually acquired 100 points over the last 2 seasons. We get to apply 10 of those points to any player that I wish. And we're going to go upgrading Seiya Suzuki, Brennan Davis, Pete Crow Armstrong, otherwise known as PCA. So we're going to give our guys just a little bit of a boost. And really, I think what this comes down to is outside of MLB The Show's progression system, which is a little slow in some instances, I think a lot of these guys, just being a part of a winning organization, we had a really good season last year. It kind of makes sense that we're using these upgrades now versus last season when we finished in second to last place. So I'm really focused on our young guys. I'm not so much focused on a lot of our veterans. Seiya Suzuki, I feel like he needs to just be upgraded in general. Very good hitter. Cubs are lucky to have him. So we're going to be focused on a lot of our young guys, Patrick Bailey, PCA, Brennan Davis, Timothy Pierce, one of our patron prospects that we drafted last season. And I think the last guy that we're going to upgrade would have to be Christopher Morel. He's a 68 overall player, a C potential. I think he needs to get a little bit of a bump. What do you guys say? I love Chris Morel. I love his enthusiasm. I love his approach to the game. One of my favorite players on this Cubs team. James Trianto's also going to get an upgrade here too. I think I upgraded Braylon Marquez that I didn't show on video here, but he's also one of our players that we were able to upgrade. So 100 points spread across 10 players at least, and we did a nice job upgrading our dudes here. Another player we're going to focus on is Aaron Zavala, one of the guys that we acquired out from, I believe, the Texas Rangers. I think we traded Wade Miley away to them. So Zavala's a guy that I kind of like, and we're going to give him a little bit of an upgrade here. So taking a look at our depth chart, this is a screen that I have not shown you guys, but I'm actually impressed with a lot of our young players, and I think what we're really going to start seeing here as we move forward into this franchise series is a lot of our young guys are going to start to come up and make a big impact. Like, look at 2025. Reed Stein's up to an 86. We got Snell's an 86. David Booth, we haven't seen him at the major league level, but he's on his way up. He's going to be an 84. We got Timothy Pierce at an 83. They think Chris Addison's going to be ready as an 85 overall player. I think this team looks pretty nasty as we move forward here in this franchise series. James Triantos will be called up by then. Timothy Pierce up to a high 80s level. Chris Addison an 89. So, yeah, we've done some really good work with a lot of our custom guys that are coming over from the Twitch series over for Bradley Braves, and then also our patron prospects that we're able to go out and grab. But take a look here. We are now in spring training, and we got a little stats update for y'all. A lot of guys not hitting, so this is a little concerning, especially after some of our dudes that we upgraded here. Guys just aren't hitting the baseball. Seiya Suzuki, though, hitting 409. I like to see that. Franmil 444. Not a big sample size for our normal starters, but we're going to shift them over as the spring starts to wind down, and we'll get a little stats update here as we end spring training. So a couple simulated games here. We finally get to the end of spring training. We lost our last 2 games against the White Sox, but it's spring. Doesn't matter. Keegan Thompson, still a 66 overall. I love his stuff in real life. I really like Keegan Thompson, but in the show as a 66, I can't really find a spot for him right now. But our regular starters, I think they pitched fairly well. Liam Hendriks is great at the back end. Blake Snell, fairly solid. Adbert Alzolay was a guy that was fighting for like the 5th starting spot in the rotation. I can't seem to give it to him because of that poor ERA and that poor performance in the spring. So he's going to be shifted over to the bullpen as we are getting our lineup looked at here. And really what I'm thinking with this roster is pretty much the same as last season. Maybe a couple of additions here to the bench roles, but for the most part, it's going to look the exact same as last season. Chris Morel would be a guy that I'd like to keep around on the lineup, but here's your final look here at the pitching staff. We got Justin Steele, won the job as the number 5 starter. Adbert Alzolay, Hernandez, 2 guys that can kind of be a 6th guy, I guess. You know, I got a spot starter, if you will. But taking a look at our lineup here, nothing's really changed. Like I mentioned, Ian Happ still out there in left field, Davis in center, Horner at short, and of course on the bench, Chris Morel and Nelson Velasquez. So I think it's a pretty solid roster. We got Nick Fortes backing up Wilson Contreras. So, you know, I like the moves that we made in the offseason, and we're ready to take on the San Diego Padres and Mitch Haniger. Yeah, Mitch Haniger's coming back to Wrigley Field, and let's pray to God that he doesn't destroy us like he did when he was in a Mets uniform. So Marcus Stroman is going to get the ball here. He's going to take the mound here on opening day in Chicago, kicking off season number 3. Take a look at his numbers here from last season. 13-8, 3.24, and a 1.1 whip. I like what Stroman was able to do last season. But early going, Fernando Tatis Jr., that's a triple, a surefire triple, all the way to the Ivy. And he rolls in there to third base with a 2-out knock. Next batter up is Manny Machado, and that's a base knock. Padres up 1-0. Not a good start here for the Cubbies. It looked like we were going to get out of it 1-2-3, but, you know, Tatis Jr., that's why he's in that slot, and that's why he's in that spot, and really good hitter. Machado backing him up. Tough going. But Cubs do get out of the inning with a pop-up, an infield pop-up thanks to Luke Voigt. And thanks, MLB The Show, for not showing German Marquez's numbers up on the screen. We didn't get a graphic, but there they are. 3.57 here for Marquez, and 2 down. Rafael Devers, deep fly ball out there to right field. That's Mitch Haniger, and he camps underneath it, makes the catch, and the Cubs are out of the inning. Let's go to the top of the second as we get a swing and a miss. That's a sinker from Stroman. Strikes out J-Ram, Jose Ramirez. First strikeout of the game for Stroman. So if you're playing in the channel points contest, that's one of the questions. How many strikeouts is Marcus Stroman going to get? But a base hit here for Haniger, and then we got a double play. That is a 1-6-3 double play started by Marcus Stroman. And isn't this a refreshing sight? Anthony Rizzo in Cubs pinstripes. Whack! Love that sound, man. Perfect. Take a look at where that pitch was. Right down the middle. You got to wonder, maybe, did German Marquez just telegraph that as a welcome back, Anthony? Either way, he does start the rally. Nobody down. Suzuki, base hit. Franmil Reyes, base hit down the line. And take a look what Suzuki's doing here. He's rounding third and headed for home. He's going to challenge the throw from Winker. Here comes the throw from Tatis. He slides in safely, and the Cubs will take the lead 2-1 off the bat of Franmil Reyes, and everybody's pumped up. Heck yeah. Look at that swing right there. Beautiful swing. Next batter up, Chris Morel. That's going to be a base hit into the gap if it's not cut off, and it is. Center fielder will cut that off, and Cubbies up 3-1 now, thanks to Franmil Reyes and Christopher Morel. But let's not leave out the fact that Rizzo is the man that started the rally. This is why we brought this guy back. He's the heart and soul of the Cubs. Look at this. Base knock here again for Anthony Rizzo with 2 down in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And no one's going to get that one. That's going to be a surefire double. So in 2 at-bats for Anthony Rizzo, 2 base hits, a single, and a double. Next batter, Seiya Suzuki. High and right down the middle. Slider, gone. Seiya, 2-run shot. And the Cubs have extended the lead now 5-1. Oof. This offense looks pretty scary, my friends, with Suzuki getting some upgrades, Rizzo coming back Franmil Reyes. I like what we're looking at here in the early going. Next couple innings later, we're going to go to the 4th inning. Stroman gets another strikeout. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning as Cubs still protecting that lead 5-1. And oh my goodness, Mitch Haniger, stop it. Stop it. Why does he continue to do this to us? That's a surefire triple for Nick Madrigal if that gets by him. But of course it doesn't because he's Mitch Haniger. Let's go bottom 5 as still Stroman's pitching well. And Rafael Devers, the big-time free agent acquisition, signed a 6-year contract. And he's going to deliver a big-time bomb. 420-foot blast. Cubs bullpen, of course. I love showing that. Who doesn't want to see pitchers dance? Rafael Devers, huge home run. You could argue that Blake Snell, Rizzo, they could be big-time free agent acquisitions. I would still say that it was Devers was the big-time get here. But let's go next inning, bottom 6, up 6-1, and Brennan Davis with nobody down gets a 2-0 pitch. You got to be ready as a hitter for 2-0. Got to come at you with a strike, and Nilson Lamet gives up a solo home run, and that should pretty much do it, guys. Liam Hendriks, shutdown type of closer, going up against the 6, 7, and 8 hitters here for the Pods. And Luke Voigt flies out to right field. Padres down by 5. Next batter up, Jose Ramirez in the 7-hole. Line drive to Suzuki out there in right. 2 down. Now the man that we got to get, 0-0 pitch, and Mitch Haniger, home run. You can't stop this guy. He's gotten a base hit off the plate. He's made a diving catch. Now he's hit a home run in a pretty much meaningless game here for the Padres. Like, they're not coming back. 7-3, 2 down, Liam Hendriks in the mound. This is not happening. But you know what? Let's just learn from our lessons here. You cannot give Mitch Haniger a slider. Even if it's a perfectly located pitch, he's going to drill it, is what I've learned. You can't give him a slider. You have to challenge him with fastballs, something. No sliders. No more. We're done with that. But Cubs will get an opening day win. 7-3 is your final score. All around great efforts. Offense was clicking. Offense was firing in all cylinders. And this is kind of a little bit of a preview here for what we should expect in gameplay going forward. Even in simulation, we've got some really good defense up the middle with Madrigal and Horner. We've got some good pitching now with Stroman, Stein, Steele. Is most of our pitching staff S's? Maybe except for Hendriks. Like, that's it. Stroman, Snell, Stein, Steele, and Hendriks. Wow. It says, shh, quiet down the offense and the opposing team, right? That's what that is. That's funny, actually. All right, moving on. Sidebar comments are done. We are now out of March and moving on to April. We're going to actually simulate all the way up here to April 15th is when we're going to stop. And we got a big winning streak here against Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. We actually swept them. We split the series against Milwaukee. And we're going to stop here because next episode I want to talk about the Cincinnati Reds. We haven't seen them in gameplay since opening day of season number 1. But take a look at our offense now, right now, guys. Suzuki's hitting really well, 344. We got to get Franmil going a little bit, but Brennan Davis having a stellar season, 333 through the first couple weeks of the season. Chris Morel hitting 222. No home runs, 4 ribbies. He's kind of got to get going a little bit. Patrick Wisdom taking kind of a back seat now, as he's now an 82 overall. Nelson Velasquez over there on the bench. Here's our pitching staff numbers. Stein still continues to impress. Hendo's pitching well. Steele's pitching well for a 5 guy. Alzolay's still kind of struggling, even in the bullpen. But, we got to hope that he gets back on track for us. Darwinzon, not too solid there in the setup role as of right now, but it is still early, kind of a limited sample size, so we'll kind of get an update from him in a couple of weeks. So, taking a look here at the top 50 prospects. If you guys see your players, I'm going to talk about the rest of this series. I'm not going to necessarily talk about your guys, but you can see them and some of their statistics, like Eric Belmont. I know that's a Patreon guy. Wes Williams King is a Patreon guy. So, guys, for the rest of this series, I think we're going to move a little faster. I want to get Thursday's gameplay here against the Reds. That'll be we're in mid-April. So I think what I want to do is by next Tuesday, so next Tuesday's episode, I want to get to like maybe June. want to get to June so that way I can start working on the prospects. I can start working on the draft class and all that, like the wheel spin, like how we do the draft here in this series. Because a lot of those guys are going to have to come over from the Twitch series, like I did for year 1 and year 2 with the Bradley Braves. But I've been enjoying this series. I hope you guys have been too. But we're going to move faster, try to get more seasons into this thing, and really start seeing a lot of these guys, these young guys, these top 50 guys, really start to come through and make an impact for their teams and really give us a challenge in the NL Central. Like a couple guys like that Simeon Karev. We're going to see him. We're going to see Wes Williams King to Cincinnati Reds up there. You guys saw their statistics so far. So it's pretty cool once we start getting these custom prospects into the game as they start making some impact on their respective teams. These are going to be guys that we have to worry about. And as we move forward in the series, are they going to join us, right? Eventually when they become free agents, huh? Or are they going to basically be a roadblock on our way to a championship, a World Series championship? So guys, I'll see you on Thursday for Reds Cubs in the next episode. Leave a like if you like this thing. Looking forward to beating up on those 4-win Cincinnati Reds. And this is the first time we've busted out the City Connect unis. I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, thanks for watching, and